talk about, I get the thing about appreciation and I can do it when I decide to appreciate, but then...
Now wait, this is really good because I can do it. I can do appreciation. Well, what about appreciation just doing you?
Yeah, well, you said that. I heard that.
This is the distinction that we're talking about. So sometimes you can't start out in full appreciation. Mm-hmm. You just woke up. You're hardly awake. You're barely alive.
That's me.
You really don't want to hit the ground running. Mm-hmm. Couldn't you just bask a little bit? Couldn't you just lie in contentment for a little while? Couldn't you just lie there with this soft, sweet contentment or soft, sweet appreciation? We know what you're getting at. All right, continue. We'll pounce at appropriate times.
You're good at that. I like it, actually. But then I realized I can do it when I'm, even in the morning when I get up, if I, follow your instructions.
How about instead of saying I can do it, I can find it. I can channel it. I can translate it. I can recognize it. I can manifest an emotion of appreciation. Oh, here's even better. I cannot drive it away with contradictory thoughts. How about this? I can let the appreciation that is natural to me flow in by starting slower and easier and not introducing resistance into the equation, which is the only thing that keeps it from getting there. Are you feeling the distinction that we're making here? The cork will float up there on the surface of the water. That's what pure positive emotion is in this analogy. You can hold it under the water. That's what negative emotion is. But when you let go of the cork, it's going to bob back up there. And so when you say, I can do, what were your words? I can do appreciation. I can do it. We want you to think about it binding you. I'm preparing the atmosphere for appreciation to ensue. I'm preparing the atmosphere.
I like that. When you were saying it before, when you were talking about the hill analogy in San Francisco, if I can just nudge and say appreciate, then law of attraction will just push me down the appreciation
There's
hill.
a momentum in everything. Yeah.
So then I go into real life, which shouldn't be different, but sometimes it feels like that. And I'm looking at, and I heard you recently say it, and it really struck me. You say, we weigh the pros and the cons, and the pluses and the minuses.
What if it's really as we say that it is? And it is. What if the source within you knows right where you're standing vibrationally and manifestationally, knows right where you stand in relationship to everything you want, and knows, without question, the path of least resistance, the path of most fun, the path of most satisfaction, the path that will lead you, not just take you, lead you, the path of least resistance that will lead you from where you are to where you want to be. What if? Don't you love knowing that? So what if, since the source within you knows that path, what if you stumble on something that makes it clear to you that you're on the wrong path? Isn't that a nice thing to know? Don't you like knowing that there is a clear, enjoyable path to everything that you want? And don't you want to just get on that? So sometimes you have something that you've tripped on and you think, oh man, I thought I was doing better than this. I thought I was way past this. But what if this thing that you tripped over is just a piece of something bigger that you didn't even know was there? And now you've tripped over it. You're alert. What if, whether it feels good or bad, you are always being guided to the path of least resistance? What about that? Are you with us a little bit? Because sometimes we think that you come here expecting that we expect you to just get on the good feeling path and just stay there all the time. It's inappropriate for you to experience negative emotion. And we don't feel that it is inappropriate for you ever to experience negative emotion. In other words, your emotions what are helping you to find the way that you... Of course we want you to feel better and better and better and better and better. But we want you to stop beating up on yourselves when you don't feel good about something. Because it's all part of the discerning of what the path is. And sometimes things happen that bring you clarity, that cause you to think about things that you weren't thinking about before, that are shedding light on greater things that are really, really, really important to you. Because, and this is the thing that we want you to understand, this is the thing that we want you to hear and know. We want you to feel this about you in the way we know it about you. Things are always working out for you. They're always working out for you. There's never some sinister plot to prevent you from what you want. And even though there are those who absolutely feel at times like they are deliberately thwarting you and making things harder than they need to be, isn't it nice that you know that so you can step around them next time? Yeah.
Jody says that all the time. Things are always working out for me. So I guess what I wanted to talk about, and I'm not sure if you've talked me out of it.
Yeah, well, we sort of...
You always do that.
We are willing to talk to you about anything because really, when you think about it, and our friends here will agree, if we're not willing to tackle the problems of your life, the seminar's boring. Because just talking about getting happy and just staying there long enough that more happiness comes, it's really a short seminar. Not worth $195. No.
Well, but that's what you're saying. So my question was sort of like, I was taught, and I'm really good at weighing the pros and the cons. And what I think you're saying is, why not weigh the pros and the pros?
Well, it's all right. We want you to explore variety. We just want to explain to you that you have been exploring variety.
Right.
And you have created a vibrational reality. And the vibrational reality is a full-blown vibrational version of all of the conclusions that you've come to. But you are denying yourself the realization and therefore the deliciousness of the life experience of so many of those things as you continue to weigh the pros and the cons. And so it reaches a place, we've talked for years about the 3 steps. Step 1 is the contrast causes you to ask. Well, you've done that in most cases. Life's going to keep causing you to ask. But really, friends, don't you acknowledge that there's a big old pile of what you've asked for, vibrationally queued up for you, and that there's plenty of it yet to be realized by you? And couldn't you take a break on the asking, demanding part of it for just a little while? And just do a little more basking and a little more creating your vibrational atmosphere? Aren't you really curious? If we were standing in your physical shoes, we know for sure that we would be. When we say to you that everything you want is vibrationally achieved, don't you just want to stand here in a vibrational place that allows it to start showing itself to you? Don't you just love it when the realization of who you are comes, you see? And here's the thing. You think that what creating is and what really will give you your kicks about creating is when the money starts coming and the mates start flowing and what you've been asking for starts showing up. And all of that is really, really fun, and we want all of that for all of you. But what we really want for you is the conscious in the moment knowledge, that feeling of, ooh, a desire is hatched within me and I'm right up to speed with it. We want you to feel that feeling of flow, that you have this team of non-physical consciousness and this stream of infinite intelligence that's walking around through your streets and through your walkways and through your days with you, knowing everything that you want and guiding you with impulses all day, every day to that path of least resistance. And it's not a path just to get you from where you are to where you think you want to be. It's a path that feels really good now and now and now and now. It's a path that's fun right now and fun then and fun still and fun more. It's a path that's interesting and fun and clarifying. And when you're on that path, when you're living that path, it's when you finally accept the totality of the worthiness of your being. Because, it's the secret of life, friends, to hatch a desire and keep up with it. To hatch a desire and believe in it. There's just no sweeter moment in time than to hatch a desire and to believe in it. And there's no suckier moment in time than to hatch a desire and doubt it. And it's your choice now, you see. It's your choice now. So the question is, how general are you willing to be to catch the tail of alignment? That's really the question of the day. How general are you willing to get in order to catch the tail of alignment? And if you're willing to catch the tail of alignment and stay there for a little bit, law of attraction will increase the momentum of that until you are just flowing and blowing, till you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. just rendezvousing with others who are like you. They'll walk with you a little while, and then they'll branch off and do their thing. And then you'll rendezvous with somebody else, and you'll walk with them a little while, and then they'll branch off and do their thing. But your trail will always be abundant with the next best, wonderful, co-creative partners, you see. Co-creative thoughts, co-creative impulses, co-creative everything, all just flowing, just dovetailing with you.
It sounds like it's a waste of time for me then to do the work of looking at the cons, because...
Present it as you came to present it, and we'll together discover whether it's a waste of time or whether we can mold it into a place that is more productive for you.
Okay. I don't even have a specific example. I like general, but my typical mode of operation, the way I work, is I'm really good at noticing the details of things, but I can notice as many cons as pros when I'm looking at anything and trying to decide on it or just observing it.
All right, so if you are doing that in a general sense, then there's not a lot of momentum about any of the pros or the cons. So you're just evaluating. So what do you think is happening within you that makes the pros start to come in a stronger way or the cons start to come in a stronger way?
When I go more specific, definitely.
Or just staying longer on the topic, because law of attraction will cause the specifics of it to come. So let's say that you're just being general and you're not feeling any emotion and you're evaluating, sort of like when you're at a buffet, you're getting to choose what you want. And so now let's say that you start to feel uncomfortable. Some discomfort starts to happen within you. So then what do you think, given what we've been talking about already and forever, what do you think our encouragement would be when you begin to feel that discomfort?
Go more general?
Or focus toward the things that felt better. So the question that we have for you, this is really an important question. Ooh, we may not have ever had this conversation before. Which do you think, this is a trap, so be careful. Which do you think is more beneficial to you, more to your advantage? To find strong flowing specifics of something, pro or con, or to care about the way you're feeling? What matters more, the emotion or the thought?
I don't know, actually. I mean, to me, I would say the emotion
then
is
let's
most
talk
important.
about how we started here today. So if what we say is true, and it is, that law of attraction is responding to your vibration, and that your emotion is the indicator of the vibration that you've got going. And you've managed to figure out how to create a really good feeling emotion within yourself, now understanding that law of attraction is going to take the thought that must be at the root of that emotion, because no emotion just shows up. It's showing up in response. Every emotion is showing you the vibrational gap between who you really are and what you really think about this subject and what you're doing right here and now. So if you're general enough that you're not causing any contradiction, hear this. If you are general enough in your thought that you are not causing any contradiction, then isn't the path wide open between this full-fledged, moving and shaking vibrational reality? And isn't it logical then that all of that power is going to move into your experience and that you will realize it as it comes? We think that there is, for most humans, which includes most of you, there is a confusion or maybe even a complete misunderstanding about how it is that things manifest in your experience. A lot of you, when you come to a gathering, especially when you're new to this conversation, there's the real world, and then there is this vibrational woo-woo world that Abraham talks about all the time. And we just want you to think a little bit about how it is that anything has ever come to be in your time-space reality. You didn't come in on spaceships from other planets. It isn't about having moved here from someplace else.